Hello everyone, welcome to Chai and Book Girl. My name is Amanda and today we have a couple of new books. My Aardvark book box came today. I also have my Book of the Month Club books, and I also have a couple that I got from Books A Million. So let me show you what I got. Okay, let's start with my Book of the Month Club book club picks. That was a mouthful, but we got through it. Okay, so the first one I have is Heart of Glass by Jennifer Hillier. So this, I believe, is actually I don't know that it's a sequel, but it lives in the same world as Wonderland. So this is kind of 25 years later after the whole Wonderland kind of conclusion. This is kind of a what happens next, or what has happened in the aftermath. So this says 25 years ago in Seaside, Washington, a charming drifter named Sam met three teenage girls at a local amusement park. Days later, one of them was found dead. Barb and Nicolette were shocked to learn the man they all met at Wonderland was the carnival killer. So if you've read Wonderland, this is not going to be anything new for you. This was kind of the whole premise of this book. But when the carnival killer recants his confession and a new body washes ashore on the eve of Wonderland's grand reopening, the secrets that Barb and Nicolette have worked so hard to bury begin to resurface. So this feels like it's kind of in the same world as Wonderland, although I don't know that I would call it a sequel. I just feel like it may be more of a follow-up to that. So I did enjoy Wonderland. I read it, oh gosh, a long time ago. I may need to read that one first before I start in on this one, but that's Heart of Glass by Jennifer Hillier. Next we have The Poisoned Daughter by Sheila Masterson. This has been all over social media. Everybody has been talking about this one. This is a romantasy book. A woman with a deadly kiss, a man presumed dead, a city surrounded by bloodthirsty monsters. Meet a man, lure him in, kill him with a kiss until one night Harlow kisses a mark that doesn't die. And so this is actually quite the chonker. Everybody's been talking about this book and I was super curious about it. It sounds really good, and so I grabbed this one. I love the purple of the cover. And then the last one I got from Book of the Month is The Winged Game by Sophie Kim. This is another fantasy type book. It kind of is giving me kind of Quidditch vibes from Harry Potter, but we have, well, here, let me just tell you what it says. Fantasy meets sporting romance in this sizzling slow burn novel in which the disgraced star of a brutal magical sport must team up with a rival who destroyed her career. So this is about a game called Carry Witchet. It's like a rugby type game played atop winged beasts. And so we have our female main character who was once the UK's most promising player until her nemesis and rival player, which is our male main character, ruined everything in a single moment. She was expelled and disgraced from the sport. But she's been offered a chance to redeem herself and her career, but now she has to pair up with him to figure out why these winged beasts are getting ill. And it sounds like there's kind of a conspiracy happening, and so they have to work together. This sounds like enemies to lovers or rivals. So there is a romance in this, but there is also, it sounds like kind of a sports fantasy type thing going on. Anyway, it sounded kind of intriguing, and so I grabbed this one as well. Then for my Books A Million books, I grabbed Harvest Season by Bryn Weaver. This is a beautiful special edition copy. I love this. This is so pretty. So this is, it's also signed. This is the second book. The first book was Tourist Season. This is the Season of Carnage trilogy. So we know that there is another book that is coming back, or that is coming out after this one. I really enjoyed Tourist Season. I had a lot of fun with that one. I also really enjoy Ruinous Love trilogy. Bryn Weaver, I think, writes really good dark romance type trope, and I think they're fun and I think they're funny. So anyway, this is the second book in that series, and then I believe the third one in this trilogy is coming out at the end of this year. Okay, and then my next one from Books A Million is The Unknown by Riley Sager. This is another fancy copy. It's also signed by the author, so that's kind of fun. I do like Riley Sager. I know he's kind of divisive. You either kind of love him or you hate him. I happen to enjoy his books. This is his newest one. In 1926, 5 women disappeared from a remote island in Vermont. Now, 100 years later, it's happening again. It sounds like this is going to be, not only are we going to have kind of a mystery thriller, which is very indicative of Riley Sager, but it sounds like this might have a little bit of a supernatural element, which he does like to play with in his books. Some of his books will have supernatural in it, some of them won't. It's kind of a crapshoot whether you get it in a book, and sometimes you won't. It sounds like this one is going to. I don't mind that. I know some people hate it, but I don't mind it. I actually kind of like it when a bit of a ghosty happens to pop up in a thriller. And so I'm excited to read this one. So that's The Unknown by Riley Sager. Okay, and then we have my Aardvark book box. And the first one I got was The Unicorn Hunters by Catherine Arden. This one has also kind of been making the rounds on social media. I've been seeing quite a few things about it, and it sounds so intriguing. This is definitely kind of a historical fantasy book. In a desperate gamble to save her throne, a young monarch arranges a secret marriage, conceals it in the shadows of an enchanted forest, and unknowingly alters the fate of her world. I think it's playing off of history, but it's kind of weaving in this kind of fantasy, a little bit of kind of a little bit of fiction, but they're sprinkling in a bit of history here. But Anne refuses to be the last Duchess of Brittany. Her only hope of resisting conquest is another alliance sealed with marriage, so Anne arranges a daring last gambit, a secret betrothal to Charles of France's greatest rival. So anyway, from what I'm understanding, what I'm seeing on social media, this is a lot of kind of, not really feminine rage, but this is really kind of about this Anne of Brittany kind of in an age where females don't have a lot of power and don't have a lot of say in their own life and in their own decisions. She kind of takes that back for herself. And so I'm assuming that there's unicorns involved, which I love. So I'm really intrigued by this book, and I'm kind of excited to read it. This is the same author that wrote The Bear and the Nightingale, which I thought was a really good book. I enjoyed that one, so I'm looking forward to reading this. The last one that I got from Aardvark is She's a Doll by Barbara Truelove, and this one I have been looking forward to for so long. This is a new horror novel. We have our female main character. She has been murdered and she needs to get her revenge. So her spirit inhabits a porcelain doll, which is kind of going to be difficult to kind of enact her vengeance upon her murderer as a porcelain doll. So this is her story of her getting her revenge in the body of a doll. I'm really excited to read this. Okay, so that is my very small stack of new books that I just got that I wanted to share with you. I am so excited. Some of these books have been on my TBR for the longest time, so I'm so excited to have them in my greedy little paws. And of course, when I am done reading them, I will post my reviews and my thoughts about them for you. But until then, happy reading. Bye.